leave you guys to your business. So,
Well, we're officially recording, so you're officially here. So
awesome.
go ahead.
All
It's
right.
all
Well,
yours.
yeah, like I said, thanks Ron and Josh and everybody for having me on today. I represent the Gutseson Family Foundation, which is a not-for-profit I started a couple years ago. We had a 64-team double elimination cornhole tournament at Cedar Park, and some of you guys were there for that. It was a real awesome event, and because of COVID, we weren't able to run it last year or this year. So last year we kind of switched gears and decided, obviously we still wanted to raise money for colon cancer research and awareness. So we decided to come up with what we call the Tour of the Tri-Cities Passport program. And what that is it's a collaboration of businesses throughout the Tri-Cities that are offering a discount code so that people can come into their businesses. When you go to those businesses, you'll get a sticker for using the coupon code, and each sticker you get is one entry into a grand prize draw, which this year will be a 65-inch TV and a sound bar, as well as a bunch of baskets made up from items that all the businesses have contributed to the Passport project. So this year we have 35 businesses confirmed. Last year we only had 18, so we've doubled the amount of businesses that are involved. We've also taken feedback from people that participated last year, and one of the big things was we only had it running for a month. So this year we're actually going to have it running for the month of July and August, with finishing up at the end of the September long weekend. So like I said, all the money we raise, the passports are $20 a piece. There's I'd say probably over 350 at least dollars in discounts in the passport. So it's kind of a no-brainer in terms of cost. Plus it gets people out into the community and looking at their local businesses and stuff that, obviously people that support us in our industry of real estate, right? So the reason I wanted to speak to you guys today is, I am a realtor. Full disclosure, for those of you that don't know me, I work for Generation Real Estate Partners, Remax Sabre. This has nothing to do with our team in terms of real estate. I wanted this a completely separate entity. I don't want it to look like, I'm trying to pump my own tires in real estate. I wanted it to be all for the colon cancer research. So what we've done this year is we've actually added the back the cover of the booklet. So the front cover is obviously I don't know if you guys can see that with my background. I'm sitting in my laundry room right now, so I don't want to but anyways, so that's the passport itself for this year. And then on the back side, let's see if I can get you. Anyways,
Go directly in front of your face.
Yeah, let's go right. Well, anyways, I'll send you guys a picture of it anyways. But what we've done is we've added a spot where it says proudly supported by. So from a real estate perspective, what I've been trying to promote to all the offices is this is a great tool for people that are moving into the Tri-Cities. If you've got buyers that have moved from White Rock or North Van or Richmond or whatever, and maybe aren't familiar with the community, it's a great tool for them to get out and get to know a lot of the businesses that are involved. So just a couple businesses, we've done a lot of different varieties. So last year we had a lot of breweries. This year we've added more activities, more restaurants. We've got Sam's Pub in, Hive Rock Climbing, Urban Axe Throwing, all the Poco breweries are involved, Fraser Mills, Vivio's Flowers in Port Moody, Pasta Polo, the list goes on. Like I said, there's 35 businesses. So it really gives, Westwood Plateau Golf. So we've got them in as well for the golfers out there. So it really gives people an opportunity to go and check out what the Tri-Cities and, a lot of the businesses have to offer. And in having the proudly supported by, it allows you to put like a sticker or stamp for your business on there. And it's a great opportunity for pop buys. So if you wanted to, if you had 20 clients that you wanted to get in touch with and haven't spoken to, it'd be a great opportunity for $20. Go to their house, drop it off. It gives you a reason to see them, and it brings them out into different businesses in the community. So that's kind of what we've really tried to work on. From our passports that we created last year, we raised about $7,000. So this year, what our goal is we want to double everything. So we obviously doubled the price. Last year they were 10, this year they're 20, but we've also increased the amount of time you have to use them to 2 months. We've increased the amount of businesses by 2 as well. And we're hoping that translates into at least doubling our contribution to the BC Cancer Foundation for colon cancer research.
That's awesome. And we are a depot, right? So you can pick up our books here.
Yeah, exactly. So no, you don't pick. You can't pick them up there. So they're all sold at all the businesses that are participating or
Gotcha,
selling
okay.
the passports themselves. So I'm gonna have an ad made up that kind of shows all the businesses that are involved, and I can share that with you guys. But you guys are a drop-off location. So once again, I wanted to, there wasn't anything real estate related that I could really add to the book in terms of value, but the fact that I'm able to have people come to your office and our office and the Axfords in Port Moody just kind of gives a drop-off location for these passports. And what we'll do is we'll collect those, go through them individually, count how many entries, and then you'll get that many entries into the draw. So last year, I think out of 18 businesses, the highest we had was somebody went to 14 out of 18. So that was really cool. So I'm interested to see, out of 35 having the 2 months, see how high people can go with those. But there's some really great deals. Vivio's Flowers, for example, is doing if you buy $40 worth of flowers, you'll get $20 off. So that's $50, 50% off there. We've got places like Patina, who last year was a huge supporter. They're doing $10 gift cards for your next visit if you go in there and buy a snack. So I mean, that basically pays for the value of the passport in itself right there. Fraser Mills is doing a $15 gift card because they wanted to one up Patina. So there's a little bit of competition between a few of the businesses too, which is great in terms of selling passports. And the St. Street Grill, St. James Well is also in it. St. Street Grill is doing a 2-for-1 entree. That's like a $35 value right there. So there's tons of value in this book, and it's a great tool, like I said, to go and meet clients. And you guys are helping us out by being a drop-off location, so I really appreciate that. But yeah, we'd love to get a bunch of realtors. You can kind of buy them right now for we're calling it like the pre-sale right now. So you can actually go onto our website, and there's a button where if you buy 10 or more, you can put your order in right now, and then I know where to drop them off. It'll either be at your guys' office or my office or the Axfords in Port Moody as the drop-off spots. So we've had a few people there. I think I've already sold about 300 of these so far. So we only sold 380 last year for 1 month. So I'm expecting things to go, quite higher. And, the best part is the passports are all being printed locally at Photo Expressions in Poco, just in Fremont Village there. So, just another business, like I said, trying to keep everything local. Another business that we're, using in order to promote this program.
Awesome. And what's the website again, Shane?
It's tgff.ca. So it's the Gootsisson Family Foundation. Tango Golf Frank.ca.
You just made that up. All right. Fantastic.
Yeah, no, it's my last name and my wife's last name kind of combined. My last name has SIS and her first name or last name, first 3 letters are SIS. So it kind of worked out.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for doing this again. I thought we were just going to win like the cornhole games that you can't use right now.
I wish I could set that up. We are going to do it next year. The 5C event will be back. 64 team double elimination. Like I said, we did it 2 years ago, raised $12,000 or $11,000 doing that, and it was a huge success. I know Josh was there. A few of you guys were there. Hiroshi, I think, was there. It was a blast. So definitely looking to get that up and running again next year and have the passport program kind of finalize at the cornhole tournament, so you can have the whole grand prize draw and everything at our cornhole tournament, and lots of prizes there as well. So should be good.
Awesome.
But thanks again, you guys, for having me on. If anyone has any questions, feel free to reach out. Go to our website if you wanted to put a pre-order, and I'll drop them off at your office for you.
Sounds good. Cool. Get your bulk orders in now, everybody.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks again, guys. Cheers.
Thanks, Shane. Whee! All right, cool. Yeah, that's a great gift to give out to clients. Get them out in the neighborhood as we start coming back out into reality and being human again. Whee! Oh, there's the music. There we go. Anyway, little Jimmy Buffett for you this morning. All right, so here's the agenda. We've got a little opportunity. We've got the Q&A with our managing broker team, and then we've got stats and congrats, and then a little bit of other stuff. So that's it. And we started off with Shane Gootsas. And I was going to ask him when he wanted me to send him transfer paperwork, but might have been out of line. All right, Bobby Unser. We're going to old school. We'll go to old school IndyCar racer Bobby Unser. One of my favorite quotes, and I actually honestly have to say, I never actually knew where this came from. I didn't know it was him who said it, but success is where preparation and opportunity meet. So what opportunity do you have right now? We're going to get into some stats, but what opportunities present themselves and how prepared are you when they arise? Because if you don't have your ducks in a row, your T's crossed, your I's dotted, and you're ready to go, and the opportunity comes in, that may pass you by. So just saying. All right. So within KW, we operate on the WI4C2Ts. Yeah, so I thought we'd do a little actual KW trading here. So WI4C2Ts, it's on the wall in all our offices if you happen to notice. It stands for win-win or no deal. Integrity, always, for what we do. Our customers always come first. Commitment to excellence, communication, open and honest, creativity in the way we approach business, teamwork. My title is team leader. I run one of the biggest real estate teams in the Lower Mainland. Cool, huh? But yeah, it's named that way for a reason, because we want to operate as a team with best shared practices and support, and that's the number one thing we hear from our office is you got awesome agents who support each other. Whee! And fantastic leadership that looks good on camera, right, Josh? And equity, which is the new one that got added in. So it's now the WI4C2Ts with an E in there. And equity means that we want to make sure that everybody has an equal opportunity. Yeah, you bet, Dale. Equal opportunity for everybody to participate at a high level, without relation to race, gender, beliefs, or anything else. And KW has really spearheaded this throughout North America and beyond in the 50 countries we operate in. And then success through others. And that's our KW philosophy. Even in down to our business model, we don't succeed as an office unless you succeed as an agent. We don't get paid till our agents get paid, and I freaking love that. So there's no breathing the air fee, which you just show up, you pay their money. Cool. So I thought I'd recap that for you. If you'd like to get it in detail, please look at the wall of your local office. It's there. Yay. All right. We got some stuff going on. So yesterday I pulled our leadership team together in our training room, 6 of us and 1 remote. Look at us following guidelines. And we did a leadership mastermind. So we basically, I put potential challenges that we may face as we grow and that may be existing within our offices. And we put them in a big wheel of fun. We spun it and randomly solved the problem. The theme was work the problem. Everything from training to education to culture to how we give more value to you, our agents, how we look after you, how we have your back from a managing broker standpoint. All those topics were addressed. So we're going to extend that out even further, and we're going to send a survey out to all of you. So please look for that in the coming weeks in your inbox. Please fill it out. Be brutally honest and constructive, of course. If you have nasty things to say, I'm just joking. No, you won't. It's pretty open. Fantastic. How you doing, Jaspreet? I can see you. All right. And then we're rolling out a contest because we haven't done one in a while. We thought we'd give away some money. So look for that next week. We'll roll that out as soon as we finalize it, but it'll be based on all the things you're doing that will help you build business. So taking listings, closing transactions, attending office meetings, attending training. We're even rolling in attending PDP courses in there. We're being nice to the Real Estate Board of British Columbia. How's that? Nice. So we want, when you're taking education, whether it's through our office or whether it's through the board, we want you to get recognized for it. So we're going to throw a few points in there for those courses. So we will send out details of that, I'm assuming next week. All right. So I ran some stats. These are the year-to-date stats. Mays aren't out for the program I use yet, but these are up to April. So these are the stats of every transaction on MLS for real estate agents within the province. So when you look at these numbers, the cumulative stats, the number of agents that did one transaction, 2,654, right? Which is 23%. The red arrows, if you look at over 50% of the real estate agents in the Lower Mainland, and this is tying into the opportunity, right? Over 51% or almost 51% of agents in the Lower Mainland or in the province have only done 3 transactions. So where's your opportunity as an agent? 85% have done 10, and 93%, yeah, of course, is under the stop sharing window, have done 15. So if you've done more than 15 transactions, you're a flipping rock star, right? And if you've only done a few, this should make you feel better because there is an opportunity out there. This year, in one of the craziest markets we've ever seen, following up from last year, the amount, if you're not successful in this market, it's going to sound mean. If you're not successful in this market, what the heck are you waiting for? Go out and do the work, right? My other favorite quote about success is people tend to ignore success or opportunity because generally it's dirty and it wears overalls, right? You got to go do the work. And there has never been a better time to take advantage of this market, even whether you're brand new or whether you're seasoned. Go take your unfair share of this market. Just a suggestion. All right. And on that note, bam, on to our managing broker team. Da, 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 da. Josh, Michael, Carol, take it away.
Well, hello. First, I'd just like to say at some point we got to get rid of that photo. That beard is scaring me.
That is never gonna happen. Ever.
Yeah. Carol, Michael, what are your thoughts about what would be the most important thing to talk about today for these agents? That was me putting them both on the spot. Sorry, Carol.
No, it's fine.
I'm good. I just have a few things. A lot of subjects have been updated in web forms. So really take a look, and if you do transaction kits, which I don't like doing, but anyways, make sure you update the subject. So one is like for tenancy, they actually have in there that asking for a tenancy agreement. Another one is when they're doing assignments. Now the seller has to sign the additional paperwork if someone is being signed onto the contract. That's really huge because we've run into that before several times. And the only other thing I've got is POAs. Yes, you have to FinTrack all POAs, the person on title, the POA, and it's got to be a current POA. Check with the lawyer or notary and ensure that it allows for the POA to sign for real estate. That's what I got.
Beautiful. That's good. Thanks for having the mic turned off. My little one's making noise in the background. I'm trying to spare us all. Michael, what do you think? Michael, do you have anything there? Jane has something to say too. So after you're done, Michael, we'll get Mike.
Jane has a question. Go ahead, Jane.
My question was just, did someone want me to talk about recent professional conduct committee cases decisions?
Sure.
That's a go. Okay.
Absolutely. That's where the juice lies. Do it.
First of all, our very own Josh Bath is also on the professional conduct committee this year. So you're going to get lots of really good information from Josh and from me. Cases are up. They're up at the council as well as at the board. We've got to be diligent, obviously. One thing that keeps coming up is multiple offers. So it's really, really, really important that not only you have your signed direction regarding presentation of offers. If you have it, it's really a good idea to post it in Paragon. If it's not posted, if someone asks, you have to send it to them, just post it. It's just straightforward, easy for everybody. And it has to be posted in the realtor remarks. If there is a change to that direction regarding presentation of offers, you have to have a paper trail. That is what is catching people up, is they are not having a paper trail, and then they come to the committee because of a complaint, and guess what? They're getting big fines. So paper trail, this is all the listing side. Now, if you're a buyer, there is no obligation to advise you of a change in the direction regarding presentation of offers, unless you specifically spell it out in writing that you would like to be kept advised about offers. So I think the most convenient way to do it is when you go into touch base and you send in your request for a showing, you put in there, and I would like to be kept advised of any offers. That way they have to let you know before they present the offer. The board is not recognizing the fact that you have booked a showing as being enough of an interest in being kept advised. So really important. If you think your client is going to be remotely interested, and even if you haven't had a chance to show the property yet, make sure you get your name on the list of people to be notified. So I think those are the most important things. But like I said, there's lots of complaints coming in these days. So watch what you're doing, keep a paper trail. And we went on the committee, we asked for all your handwritten notes or your typewritten notes, all your correspondence, emails, texts, touch bases, everything. So keep good records. And I think those are the most important things to talk about today from the PCC.
With respect to keeping good records, don't delete a group chat that you have with your clients prior to a disciplinary request from the board wanting to interview you. If it's found that, you know, of all the clients you work with, the one particular case where the complaint lives, you've deleted that group chat chain, it's very suspect and it does not go well in your favor. So you know, either you share it with us, or if you delete it, there's consequences for that as well too, and just keep that in mind. Now, that said, there's something that I did also want to add. If for whatever reason, and I know this happens for us at time to time, but if for whatever reason you're unable to attend a showing representing your buyer, obviously you've got to know that our rules of cooperation state that they have to have representation inside the property. So you can't just physically send them out without you, and you can't just expect the listing agent to show your buyer on your behalf without you being present, unless you give them a call and make that arrangement in advance. There's nothing wrong with you doing that. There's nothing saying you can't do that. But sending your buyers to go out on a showing without letting anybody know, you know, other than perhaps your buyer letting them know that you won't be there, is unacceptable. And I can say that the Professional Conduct Committee is looking, well, I mean, these are one of the complaints that are showing up in front of the Professional Conduct Committee, and there's consequences to that kind of behavior. So just do your realtor friends a solid and let them know that if you can't make it for whatever reason, or you're running late, you're stuck in traffic, you're behind a train, whatever the reason may be, there's a family emergency, whatever it ends up being, communicate to the other side. You'd be surprised. They probably 9 times out of 10 be very accommodating for you. And if they're not, they have a right to not be. So that's all. I just wanted to share that.
Presently, Josh, we have a couple before the Professional Conduct Committee in relation to complaints with agents sending people without representation, without the buyer's agent being present. And another one right now, I think they ruled in June that they're going to look at it even further in regards to giving the buyer access to a property without the buyer's agent being present, in regards to showing the property to a tenant or a potential tenant.
Yeah. You know, if anyone ever wants a good nightmare story, just go into our professional conduct cases, the ones that have been published on our member portal. Fraser Valley has one as well too, so you have access to these. And you can, I went back 5 years to study for a particular case I was working on, and I was able to find 12 separate cases that mirrored the one I was working on. So it was really easy to see, like what you just said, Michael, sending somebody in and then not letting anyone know. And the tenant lets these people in thinking one of them is a realtor, only to discover one is not a realtor and there is no realtor present. These fines are substantial. Or you as a listing agent offer up, say, a non-traditional lockbox. You offer up the builder's code, the code to get into this lockbox. So it's not your typical lockbox. And you as a buyer's realtor give that to your buyer, you give them the code, and then you get caught. These fines are massive. Like they're I can just say that they're becoming tougher and tougher for behavior like this, which is great. I think it's fantastic.
Josh, can I ask too, let's say an agent of ours does something and they need legal representation. How does the brokerage look at that?
What are you referring to, Carol?
Well, sometimes if they want to take someone or another agent or something's coming against them and they want to defend themselves, there could be legal fees involved.
Yeah, well, when it comes to so if an agent wants to fight, it depends on the situation, right? So, for example, if we're talking about suing for commission, that's a common one. You're a buyer's agent. Maybe you had a buyer agency contract signed already. So you're owed a commission by way of the contract because you had a contract. But the buyer doesn't buy with you, turns around and buys from some other realtor, and you have a legitimate claim for that commission. We would more than likely sign over the ability for that agent to go ahead and hire their own lawyer or represent themselves in court with their contract. But there are other scenarios where realtors feel like they've been wronged. And there's many sides and complexities to the scenario where a realtor may be wrong. So we would look at it. And if the realtor wants to pursue by way of suing, the realtor has to be prepared to hire a lawyer to defend them. The brokerage may very well end up having to hire a lawyer, in which case the realtor would be responsible for those costs. So I'd say this is the if you're going to launch, I would first of all encourage you to go the traditional methods. Complain to the managing broker of the other office. That gets you nowhere. Complain to the board. If you feel it's super egregious, make a complaint to counsel. But all of this gets funneled through Carol or Michael. So you're not doing this independently. You're not just deciding this is the route I'm going to go. You're doing this in concert and connection with Michael and Carol's guidance right alongside you. And if you feel that you're going to sue, just be prepared that you will have to hire a lawyer, and that's a cost that you will bear.
I mean, that's sort of a general overview, but I think Josh is correct. There's so many different circumstances to consider. I mean, how do you just answer that question with one blanket statement?
It's a tough one too, because there are cases where you got to imagine when you're in a scenario where you feel that strongly that you need to do something like that type of action, you're probably pretty emotional, and there might be a degree of emotional decision or reaction being filtered in on that decision to want to go out and sue. But you may not have a case at all. And as a brokerage owner, if I see that clearly there's zero case, there's like you have no legs to stand on here, there's no reason to defend that. There's no reason to stand up and fight that. But I would want to have that conversation with the agent, explain both sides. For the record, for everyone listening, one of the reasons I'm pursuing my managing broker's license is so that I can have a better understanding of situations that arise in our office on whether or not we're the good guy or the bad guy. What are the reasons I'm on the professional conduct committee is so I can see how cases where complaints arise get chewed around on the committee table and how they get discussed and what angles get brought in. So if I'm talking to one of our agents, Carol, for example, and they feel strongly, I can say, hey, I've had an experience around this. Let me share the experience. Let me show you some different avenues on how this could turn out for you. It may not be great. And in the end, you may not get any satisfaction. You might just get more satisfaction lodging a complaint through counsel and knowing that that other agent is going to have to stand up and be interviewed over it, assuming it gets that far. But so that's one of the reasons why I did both the managing brokers course and the professional conduct committee.
One of the topics that was hotly discussed in our mastermind yesterday was we always have the agent's back. As your brokerage, we always have your back. That doesn't always going to mean that you're going to get the answer you want. Our job is to protect you as your office. So if you have some emotion going into something, logic needs to take over, right? But we will always act in our agent's best interest, which is also the best interest of the office.
And to that point, I think something that often tempers emotion when, like let's say we make a decision that's contrary to what one of our agents wants. If we're able to articulate without a shadow of a doubt, like here are the reasons why. Like let's lay it down when calmer heads prevail and you get a chance to look at it, you might also decide this, yeah, I'm mad. Yeah, I think it's bad. I'm not pursuing it though. This is not a mound I'm willing to die on. And I appreciate the fact that time was taken to fully discuss it and then offer up, like here's some history, here's some case precedents, whether we get it through the board or whether we get it through Camley. But either way, the idea was to really be able to just inform agents and go, okay, you've got a case, you've got something worth pursuing. There's some things that happen that you and Michael see that are like, yeah, something's off on the other side. You might not be able to pinpoint it. It may not be worth a lawsuit, but it sure could be worth a complaint to a complaint to the board after you've gone through the management broker, and it's a less than satisfying response. So
I mean, Josh sort of articulated on you've got so many different avenues, and all the issues are different. They're after talking to Carol and myself. I mean, we may be looking at a board complaint, maybe a council complaint. It might need an inquiry to E&O. If it's a commission-related issue, we might be talking about potentially a letter to the other brokerage. I mean, it could be potentially a discussion about small claims action. I mean, every one of these situations has a different solution, right?
They sure do. Yeah, without doubt. Jane, you asked a question, and it was, maybe we could get someone from the Fraser Valley Board to join their business practices committee. Once I have my broker's license, I'll be joining the Brokers Council. And the Brokers Council's, I believe, based out of the Fraser Valley. I'm not sure where it's based on, but I know they did operate their meetings out of the Fraser Valley Board. So I don't know if that's along the line what you were saying, business practice committee.
I don't think.
No, Josh, what I'm talking about is do they not? I thought the Fraser Valley Board had a committee just like we do at the Vancouver Board. And
yeah,
if someone should probably get on that committee so that we've got input from both boards.
Yep.
Gin from our office is on it, and I believe she's in the room right now. Gin, are you here?
Okay.
Yes, I'm here. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hi.
So go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Josh.
I was going to ask, how long have you been on the professional? Do you call it the professional conduct committee there?
It's the professional conduct committee at the Fraser Valley Board. So this would be my second year there.
Beautiful. Yeah. So you've seen a few cases and some wild curveballs. Yeah.
So at this point in time, I think I've worked on 3 solid cases so far in the last year and a bit. But we've had a number of cases that I've been able to basically make decisions on, right? So I kind of missed what you guys were talking about. I was a little bit busy here, but so I didn't catch the first part of it. And then all I heard was the professional conduct committee.
And your reticular activator kicked in and boom, you were in.
Yeah.
We're just randomly testing to see if people are paying attention. We're just going to call out random names.
Thanks, Paul.
No
Jane
problem.
was, interested in finding out if we could have someone on the Fraser Valley Real Estate Board join the Professional Conduct Committee, and you're already there.
Yes, yeah. So within our office here in Surrey, what I typically do, if I come across a case and, it's something that's even accessing or having our clients access lock boxes without the realtor being present, because that's a huge thing, right? And so I'll come back to the office here, and just within our Surrey office, I'll tell the realtors here, I'll be like, okay, well, guys, make sure you don't do this, or make sure you don't do this, because this is coming in as a complaint. So, I mean, I'm making the people here aware of it. But I mean, it'd be nice to put that input out to all the other agents within KW as well.
Well, again, that's a great point, because Jane is also on the professional conduct committee for the Vancouver board.
Oh, okay.
And with the 3 of us and we get to see some things that obviously when you're seeing them, you're like, man, we certainly don't want our agents to get smoked that way, right?
Right.
Because and they would be incredible, brief teaching points, or if nothing else, something of value to bring into a meeting like this. And this was it's the first time we've really done it, and we have to thank Jane for it because she's the one that prompted the question to get it in here. So there should be a PCC moment in this meeting.
I wrote down
agree.
Tales from the PCC. I think we should have it every
I agree.
month.
And you know what? I'm actually really proud of KW because for the last year and a half that I've been there, we have not come across a complaint against any of KW agents, which is really good.
That's fantastic. Yeah, that's
really good.
That's the kind of stuff we want to hear.
I agree.
You definitely. I'll leave it at that. I was gonna say I know of things, but you can't speak to specifics, so I'll have to bite my tongue. And I'm a newbie, so you can see I'm overly eager. Yeah. Jane had mentioned, Carol, you had mentioned earlier about the changes to the clauses for council. And Jane was all over this with me, like, how come this wasn't put out publicly? How are we supposed to find this information? So I called someone over, Andrew, I think it was, over at council, who got back to me and said, we have like a timeline and a grid of the things we're working on, want to work on, but we've not put it out there. And I'm like, well, I would have to say, since your mandate is to protect the public and you do so by making sure realtors are professional, wouldn't it just make sense that you let realtors know what you're up to so we can be on top of it as well? And he's like, it's a good idea. The very next day, if you look in the chat bubble, a link popped up that Jane found and sent over to me. And it's a 59-page document of all the clauses that they've amended. So Carol, the clauses she's referring to, the tenants clauses, everything is in the PC, the title clause. It's all there for you if you choose, or you can go to the council site and get it yourself. But right there, it's an easy click and a download to your desktop, laptop, or whatever. It's exciting stuff in real estate. Is there anything else we want to talk about on a managing broker level, or
like to add something in regards, because I've been reading some chat in I think in our cafe group and on the realtor group on Facebook. Restrictions for open houses to date haven't changed. They're still strongly not recommended. The way we're doing business is continuing as it was. The June 15th changes, which haven't been announced yet, if I think they'll go forward, but I can't confirm that, doesn't change our resolve in relation to open houses or the way we do business. I think if there's going to be a big change, it's going to be after July 1st.
On a side note around open houses, I can see some very heated debates right now going on in realtor camp Facebook groups where a member will go, hey, does anyone know when we can start opens? I'm excited. I can't wait to get going. And, I wouldn't be the member that posted that, let's just say, because the litany of comments and responses that have not been too kind for those that are wanting or eager to get back in opens. That said, it's inevitable. It's going to happen. It's something that we've done historically and traditionally, so it will. And hopefully people are doing it with a new set of lenses on and doing them safely.
And things are going really well, like we talked about yesterday at the leadership group. And things will be changing. It's reality going forward. But as soon as we know, we'll let you know.
Yeah.
Open houses, open casinos, and open borders. It's just all going to be paired together. Yeah.
Leslie just made a nice comment. I thought it was a good one. Maybe one of you can post a case or information on KW Cafe once a month or an office email. Not many people show up at meetings. She's right. Not, in relation to the numbers within our elite family, the numbers that show up, although I'm grateful we've got 31 in here, we could probably see that number double, and I would say we could still do more. Right. We really should be seeing more people here. For those that are listening, again, Jane, my experience so far, and I'm a newbie, you guys are not, my experience has been on the professional conduct committee. One of the very first things they ask when they're looking at a complaint is, does this person attend office meetings? Does their managing broker hold office meetings? Right. So the fact that we've got over 340 agents and only 31 in here right now, I think perhaps it just speaks to the general theme that the agents that aren't here don't realize how serious it is to not be here. Go ahead, Gin.
Yeah, I just want to add to that because the file that I actually just recently worked on, and we basically just came to a decision. Yes, was it yesterday? Yesterday, day before yesterday, and that was the first thing. And a lot of that file, there was a lot of miscommunication because of language barriers, right? But the way that he was able to basically not be fined because he himself did everything correct, but because of communication and language barrier, the other realtor kind of thought that, you know, he made mistakes and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, like, this realtor attends every single office meeting. That was a huge thing. So that's one of the first things that we asked the member links being managing brokers is, do these agents attend office meetings? Are they up to date with their education? Do the managing brokers provide training? You know, how do we take minutes for these meetings, right? If they're in person, or if they're via Zoom, are they recorded? So is there some sort of proof that the managing brokers basically do meetings, right?
Are in active charge.
Yeah.
Are in active charge.
And that's like with us, I feel like with our managing brokers get fined like quite heavily if realtors make mistakes. And that's a huge thing. And it's a huge liability on our managing brokers. And the way to implement like this information and knowledge is hosting meetings, right? So I feel like everybody should be attending the monthly office meetings.
It was part of our discussion yesterday to actually allow. We don't use the word mandatory often. It's to this point. You know, if you plan on doing something naughty, you should start attending office meetings, so you've got some defense in your corner.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, and you need your managing brokers in your corner, because without that, like, yeah, I've seen some pretty hefty fines up until now. Like one of the ones that we just saw right now was like $20,000, and that's huge, right?
That could be
20K in a year without being able to transact in real estate, which is much more expensive.
Plus education and whatever else
and
on top of it.
Costs of the hearing.
Yeah.
All right, so I just added the word scary to tales from the PCC. Scary tales from the PCC.
Very appropriate. Very appropriate.
Written by Jane Ambrose, Josh Bath, Michael Tremaine, Carol DeBoer, Gin Dillon, and Stephen King. So.
Stephen King.
All right. Any parting thoughts?
Last comment, because we didn't really touch on it. We put it in the cafe group, and you've been bombarded with emails. There have been FinTrack changes. Don't really have time to go over it now, but I mean, there's a lot of stuff on the BCRA website talking about the changes in relation to FinTrack that's happened on June 1st. And take some time and go over it. I mean, I've probably been hit with 10 or 12 emails recently in relation to FinTrack changes. There's a great graph that BCRA they put it out again the other day, and they basically have a side-by-side comparison. FinTrack, what's changed before June 1st and after June 1st, and we'll be, going forward, we'll be going over those more in length. I mean, some of them, despite their changes to FinTrack, I don't really think that they affect the way we do business. I mean, how many of you are taking virtual currency? None, right? So there's a big one there, right?
Leslie has a good point that there's an opportunity for us to run a separate course just on FinTrack changes. So yeah, I think that'd be a great idea to put it into the calendar. All right.
Josh, you're going off and on.
Just a quick thing to address, Leslie. I'm hoping maybe you're not bossy at all today, Leslie.
We love you when you're bossy. You're at your best when you're bossy, Leslie. Your
questions are more than welcome. So why don't we have a Zoom meeting on this? I'm not sure if you're referring to the FinTrack changes or just in general the stuff that got brought up around managing broker topics for professional conduct and the PCC. But I think Ron alluded that was one of the discussions about perhaps coming up with something on a monthly basis. So we could really keep everybody informed about what's going on and what's best practices. It's really about best practices, essentially.
Yeah, the more information we can get out to the agents, the better.
I like what Jane
Revolutionary
just
thought
said.
process.
Jane attended the webinar by CREA on the FinTrack changes, which was pretty useless. I'd have to agree. Unfortunately, it wasn't. There was no meat on that bone whatsoever. You could probably do better just by reading it and disseminating the information yourself. But yeah, I think perhaps we should put a meeting of the minds together and then get in on this forum. They're not super complicated, but they're worth having conversations about for sure.
They're complicated if you don't know about them. So yeah,
Exactly.
They're talking
When you're
about
going to use it for the first time.
they're talking about politically exposed persons. They're talking about beneficial ownership. Pretty much every relationship now is a business relationship, and on and on. There's been some minor changes to forms. They've added new forms in relation to those politically exposed persons and beneficial ownership. So there are some changes that we could be talking about separately.
All right, we will figure that out. Duly noted. Fantastic. All right, so after a healthy FinTrack discussion, let's celebrate something and maybe get a beer or something. Wow, that's deep, dark conversation. Fantastic. I like it. All righty. Dun, 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 dun. Do we have screen from current slide? I guess we're jumping back in. All right, so we've had some agents join us. This is either the best name in real estate or the worst name in real estate. Harsh Lit. Just fantastic. I love that. Oliver Eric, who just joined conveniently. Jaspreet, who just dropped off to go have a meeting because new agents do that now. It's fantastic. Jaden and Nicole Hunt, who's joined Matt Baskin's team. So welcome, folks. We continue to grow during the pandemic, which is kind of fun. I can't wait to not have to say during the pandemic anymore. I can just stop saying it. All right. And we had some birthdays. We're getting back to birthdays. It's birthday time, right? So everybody got older. Everybody made some bad decisions, and hopefully there's no video to document what they did while they were on their birthday. Today is actually Renee Williams' birthday, so if you see her, if she's on the call or not, but wish her a happy birthday. And yeah, a bunch of other people. Happy birthday. We can all sing. This slide again, just because pay attention, know where you are in your industry, where you rank in your business. We are going to start putting together a monthly stat package for you folks to use in your social media, your listing presentations, your buyer presentations. This is how awesome our office is. This is how awesome our agents are. These are the stats you can back up, and we're gonna unapologetically shout our story from the rooftops. Woohoo! It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a great rest of the year. We're excited about it. Here's where we are. Speaking of having a great year, I can hear my voice echoing from Carla's office. It's very weird. Agent count, we're sitting at 329 agents, 3% growth over last year. Closed units up 57%. Closed sales volume up 99%. When your units are up 57% and your volume is up 99%, what does that mean? It's a math question. It means the value of what you're selling went up. Market's heating up, and so is the price point. We'll talk about that in a second too. Thank you, Eric. 40% up for listings taken. Listings taken volume up 76%. Listings sold up 48%. Listings sold volume up 76%. Contracts written up 94%. 343 contracts written. Hug your conveyancer. Contracts written volume up 142%. And that is because if you jump down to your average sales price, last year during May, our average sale price was $687,920. This year it is $824,801. We have never had an average sale price over $800,000. So that is the market that you are all playing in right now. Let's hug your clients too. Contract written volumes about 142. Closed gross commission up 86%. Over $4 million in gross commission. That's good stuff. That's like, hey, I don't need to buy a Lotto Max ticket because I'm doing okay kind of revenue. That's fantastic. And our profit share is up 169% year to date compared to last year. So during the past few months, we paid out $113,000, $168 to our agents of profit share. So thanks for helping us grow, and thanks for participating. This public service announcement, you want to get more profit share? Give me a call. Let's help us grow. It's going to be fantastic. Bam. May cappers. Holy cap. A lot of people capped. We get excited about cappers, and I'm going to phone every single one of these people and say, how do we get you to double your revenue? Congratulations, you just made 50 grand, right? Because that's what the number is. Once you've made, in rough numbers, once you've made more than $50,000 in gross commission, less if you're on a team, you've covered your cap. 50 grand is not a career make. Just saying. That's a part-time job at Costco, and they have benefits. So how do we get you to double that so you can put more money in your pocket and become a freeloader from the office where you pay us absolutely nothing for the revenue? Because we love that. That's fantastic. So congrats to everybody on that list, and we're going to chat about how we get you to do it again so that you keep all that revenue and your cost of sales goes down to less than 0.5%, which is pretty cool. The Home Run Award, my favorite deal. One listing taken, one contract written, one contract closed. A lot of new faces on this sheet. I love the fact that Melissa is putting this together with faces. It's just really cool because you see other offices with similar things and they'll have 4 or 5 people on it. And then we put out 64, which is really awesome. So congratulations. If you're a newer agent on the call, talk to your productivity coach, talk to Carol, talk to Chris, talk to Hiroshi, talk to Aman. This should be your goal. Every single flipping month, get on the home run because that means that you're cashing checks, you're putting money in your future bank account, and you're building up your sales pipeline. And that is sales, that is business, that is real estate. So if you're not doing those 3 things, get a mirror, have a look and go, what did I do this month? What can I do differently next month? And who can I ask to help me build that out? Because we got some really, 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 really good people. Cool. Just in case we didn't get the pictures, here's the list. The list is impressive too. Not going to read them off. But if you're on the list, congratulations. If you're not on the list, make an effort to get there. Talk to people. Here are our top listings taken for individuals. So Mr. Jason Sanu, Mr. Terry Hughes, Renee Sandu, looking serious there. Cam and Logan on the top 5. And then individuals, we got JP, Elvin, Mr. Breckel, Julie Ramirez, and the smiling Matt Bastian now has hair. We have to update his picture too. We would take the beard off your picture, Josh, and put it on the top of Matt's head. Just balance things out. Written volume, Jason, Matt, Cam, Julie, and JP again. And then JP, let's flip it around. JP, Matt, Rob, Julie, and Mr. Gary Badisha for top 5 individuals. This is Ron's test to know if I know everybody's face, which is kind of neat. No names, just faces. And GCI, Gary Badisha, Julie Ramirez, Rob Breckold, JP, and Mr. Matt Bastian. Congratulations to everybody for GCI. And then talking on listings taken, the lap group. The lap group is dominating. So Crystal Lap, if you see her, give her a hard time because she only did 5 deals in 5 days last week. So she was going for 7 and fell short. So she's promised to stop slacking and bump that up from 5 deals, 5 days. By the way, Gary Keller's formula on how do you make $1 million in real estate, go on 7 listing appointments each week. I think she gets it. Cool. Lap Real Estate Group, the Huber Group, Thornton Group, Full Circle Real Estate, and the Bath Mackay Group. I know somebody on the Bath Mackay Group. Weird. And then top 5 teams for listing sold. The Huber team, the Lap Real Estate Group, Full Circle, Drummond Real Estate Group, and the Ambrose Real Estate Group. Nice. Huber team for written volume, the Lap Real Estate Group, the Drummond Group, the Bath Mackay Real Estate Group, and Full Circle Real Estate. And then top 5 teams for closed volume. The Huber Group. There's some continuity here in there. The Huber Group, the Lap Real Estate Group, the Bath Mackay Real Estate Group, the Drummond Marketing Group, and the Full Circle Real Estate Group. And then the big one, the GCI, Mr. Huber and crew, the Drummond Real Estate Group, Lap Real Estate Marketing Group, Full Circle, and Bath Mackay. It's like the full sweep. Fantastic. Good job. Congratulations, everybody. And then on our group side, we have the Garbutt and Duma team, Partners Marketing Group, the Marketing Real Estate Group, our Market Real Estate Group, the McNabbs, the Synergy Group. Sweet. New logo. I like it. And the Partners Marketing Group for listing sold, Danny and Claudio, Garbutt and Duma. We have the 604 New Home Realty. Congratulations, guys. And the Omni Real Estate Group. That would be Omid and team. And then for written volume, the Garbutt Duma team, Partners Marketing Group, the Market Real Estate Group, McNabbs, and Danny and Claudio. And then Danny and Claudio. It's weird, eh? Danny and Claudio, Garbutt Duma, Partners Marketing, City Real Estate, popping in just for fun on that category, and then the Market Group. And then for GCI, Danny and Claudio in the lead. Apparently people buy and sell stuff in Maple Ridge. Neat. The Garbutt Duma Real Estate Group, the Real City Group, Market, and then the Kelly Fry team. Kelly only pops up when there's money involved. It's kind of funny. So we'll see if she can dominate. Fantastic. So congratulations, everybody, for our top performers. Are there any needs and wants out there? And I'd love to show the stop sharing screen, but then I'll have weird moments where I can't read or I can't get out of the screen. So anyway, needs and wants. Any of our agents have any requests before we sign off? Going once, going twice. Any questions in the chat group? Want Christmas party in person? Okay, actually, I have a need. I have a want. I have a need and a want. Sam, cover your ears. For a big ass barbecue. So here's the deal: the minute we get the go ahead from Bonnie and the other powers that be in the province, we're gonna pick a park. We are going to get as many people as we flipping can together, friends, family, definitely agents. We're gonna crank up 4 or 5 barbecues. Colin, Matt, myself, maybe Brad Coughlin will kick in, and yes. We'll cook some Beyond Meat too in a totally separate barbecue. We will crack a few beverages, salty or otherwise, and we will get together and take the next day off because we have been exceedingly patient and exceedingly good. Like I say, open borders, open bars, open barbecues, and open houses. Let's get back to it. All right, going once. It'll be August, maybe September. Going once, going twice. Going to Vegas, baby. There you go. Maybe we should just do it in Vegas. By the way, family reunion next year in February is in Orlando. There's a park there I've heard of, Disney something. So if you want to attend, I'll show you around. All right, folks. Have a great day. Thank you for attending. You're awesome. Go get vaccinated.